welcome back, everybody. No, that's a. Let's see. That's a.
Well, let's talk about that.
No, let's talk about that because that's a. I think that's a false construct that you just. And it's not. There is this narrative. Hold on. There's what Doc was mentioning was that how even though Democrats don't like Hillary, they rallied around her, but the Republicans have kind of been stabbing Trump in the back this entire general election run. And the thing is, that's a narrative that is comfortable and it's convenient, and it goes to this idea that they're both equally terrible. But the Democrats don't look at it that way. The Democrats ran off every single other candidate except for Bernie Sanders and Jim Webb and Martin O'Malley and Lincoln Chafee, like the other guys
those people, they didn't have a chance.
Right.
Yes.
They ran it, but so the only person that anybody was talking about running in 2016 was Hillary. And so the Democrats were behind her pretty much from the very beginning. Now, Bernie came in and won 22 states, but he never really got very close, and the party establishment was firmly behind Hillary. That's how she won so many superdelegates. So this notion that the Democrats don't like Hillary, she barely lost to Obama in 2008. One of the most talented, whether you like him or not, one of the most talented political operatives and politicians of at least the last 50 years, Barack Obama. Most naturally talented politician, was smart, one of the smarter guys to ever do it, barely beat Hillary in 2008. So the Democrats like Hillary. Now the rest of the country apparently hates her guts, but unless she's working in Secretary of State or Senator of New York or whatever. But the Republican, there has been legitimate Republican just angst and ennui about Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
Hold on a second.
Sorry, what? I thought it was my turn.
No, I'm going to ask you a question because speaking of angst and ennui, did you vote today?
Oh yeah.
Who did you vote for?
Straight Republican ticket, the only ticket that can save America. Honest to God, it was.
Did you think about it?
I have done nothing but think about it. There are a lot of personal reasons that I'm not going to go into why Trump is distasteful to me. I work in a field that is permeated with misogyny, and I deal with the victims of that misogyny 15 times a day. And it makes me angry. I know that I'm guilty of misogyny like everybody else, but at least if I think I've injured or done something to somebody, my first thing out of my mouth is, I am sorry, and what can I do to make it better? And that is my own personal struggle. And the truth of the matter is I thought about casting a vote for Johnson, but honest to goodness, I can't get behind his foreign policy. McMullen was not a choice for me.
Was on the ballot in Iowa.
Yeah, it's not a choice. So I pulled the trigger for Trump. And that's the reason is I believe that even though I don't think he's going to do a lot for foreign policy, but we are staring eyeball to eyeball with the Russians, and we are gearing up for a nuclear exchange over at NATO, because that's my bailiwick is foreign policy. And I don't think Hillary Clinton's reset has worked all that well, particularly since Putin came out directly and said, it's going to depend on how the administration's approach to us changes. I don't think Hillary Clinton's approach is going to change, but I do think we have a shot with Donald Trump. That was my swaying vote. Now, one of the things, now I forgot what we were going to be talking about. Oh, yes. So,
well, the Republican, you struggled with that. That's why I brought it back.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, I talked to a lot of Democrats. And keep in mind, not all Democrats. There's a lot of Democrats go with Hillary and go socialism. But there's a lot. I
think Hillary Clinton. See, we had this argument about Obama in 2012. Hillary is about. If you think that Hillary is a socialist, you think Hillary's a socialist. Talk to a Bernie Sanders.
Well, but anyway, Democrats love socialism. That's all I know. Anyway, there's a lot of Democrats I've talked to, particularly this last weekend, but in overall, who have said, I don't really like Hillary, I'm going to vote for her because the alternative is worse. And a lot of people feel that way. I think it's a legitimate view. The Republicans have actively sought to hamstring our presidential candidate. Now, Reince Priebus finally got everybody in line and pulled the nuclear bomb on all the candidates and says, if you don't support them, you're not getting any more money from the RNC, period. And that's what got Cruz in line. But there's Cruz sitting on the phone going, right? So he's just going through the motions. You have pundits that have actively supported candidates that have actively sought to destroy Trump at every turn and opportunity, and their bitterness shows through. Now, Lefty and I, we know who we support, and we're not afraid to say we support these people.
Right.
But you did not come out and actively seek to destroy Bernie. You did not actively go out and seek to work for Hillary Clinton.
Love Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. So there's a difference. Martin O'Malley. Is that Martin O'Malley? Did I hit that right?
Yep.
So I didn't go out and actively seek to destroy Ted Cruz or Trump or Huckabee or any of these people. But there's a lot of media pundits that have. And if Donald Trump loses, it's Donald Trump's fault. I'm not going to blame anybody but him. But the truth of the matter is nobody helped him. So if he gets on if he wins presidency, he did it on his own, in my viewpoint. Because if you got people like Dace who are actively, with a large audience like they have, actively seeking to destroy him. If you have people, Jan Michelson had a stroke, and he's been fairly neutral, but he's also been fairly critical. You have other people in the news organizations being critical of Trump, actively seeking to destroy him. That's not how you rally a party. Something has happened to the Republican machinery that has made it feel corrupt. I mean, that's what Bernie fed on. That's what Trump has fed on. And it's incredible that the Republicans have reacted to Trump the way they've reacted.
Well,
have to say something,
Trump is not a normal. Trump is not this.
Not a normal candidate.
He's not. He's not really a Republican. I mean, I'm going to say seemingly contradictory things here, and I apologize for this. At one point in the in this campaign over the last year and a half, whatever, I'm pretty sure that I made some variation of these comments where I said Donald Trump is the logical conclusion of the line of rhetoric that the Republican Party has been pitching for the last 30 years. We've seen all this illegal immigration stuff. We've seen all of this trade protectionism stuff from certain Republican Party, which is weird. We've seen a lot of this kind of rhetoric, populist, divisive rhetoric from Republicans for a really long time. Think Steve King, think Ted Cruz, some of these guys. And Donald Trump is just the culmination of all that. I've said that before. But Donald Trump a vote for Donald Trump is not a vote for a healthy Republican Party. A vote for Donald Trump is not a vote for conservatism. And my good buddy Jordy Flatt, arch conservative that he is going to give me a big bear hug if he's listening to this. Donald Trump is no conservative. A vote for Donald Trump, a vote for Donald Trump is a vote for anarchy in this country. Because while I think that we're a better country than any one leader, I don't think that a Donald Trump is going to destroy the republic. That's not what I'm trying to say. And I also don't think that he's some necessarily a dangerous, unhinged lunatic, although he acts like it. But the reason that so many people that talk to me and have said are voting for Donald Trump, the reason so many are supporting him is not to enact some sort of conservative renaissance, the way that they talk about with Ted Cruz, or the way they talk about with some of these other, with Mike Pence even. It's that they want to see an outsider drain the swamp and burn the houses down. It's a vote for anarchy. They're so fed up and they're so disillusioned they'd rather quit, bust it all up, and trust this guy to start over.
Yeah.
And that's the dangerous mindset. Now, I'm not that existed on the left back in the 70s. That existed on the far left back in the turn of the 20th century, when you had the union saboteurs and folks that would break union picket lines only to bust up machinery inside factories and stuff. That kind of thing has existed in American politics for a long time. This idea that we have to bust it all up, burn it all down, and start over. But I think that this election is the first time especially in my lifetime, and I'm sure in yours, that a major political party has put a guy up there with that philosophy behind him. And that's, I think, what is unnerving to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, and that's a very good point. We're going to be back right after this break. Remember, we can't do what we do without you. There's a couple of Senate seats that have already been declared. Some surprises out there.
I wonder which one.
Oh, my goodness. So we'll be back right after this break, fill you in, and we're going to continue our election coverage. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.